Welcome to the Tits Up podcast with Coley Arnold, the unapologetic space for women in the thick of it. You know, the messy middle where you're too far in to quit, but the finish line feels like a mirage. Where the pressure is high, the stakes are real, and every win feels hard-earned. This isn't a highlight reel. This is the unfiltered truth about building a business, holding your life together, and finding your fire when it would be easier to burn it all down. If you're tired of fake perfection and ready for the real, raw conversations that make you feel seen and lit up, then grab your coffee, your courage, and let's do this. Shoulders back, head high, tits up, girlfriend. Today on the podcast, I have my dear friend Alex Bradberry here sharing all about her journey as an entrepreneur, growing and scaling, losing partnerships, creating magic behind the scenes. We are talking about sales and how when you show up as your unique self and sharing your passion, that it doesn't feel like the sales that we all dread. And this is a conversation you are not going to want to miss. Alex, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited to dive into this conversation with you. Alex here is a dear friend and founder's mentor with us, and she is the beautiful face behind the amazing brand called Sparkle Bar, which is a inclusive makeup bar. And I've been the recipient for some of her amazing makeovers. And I just want to dive in and talk a little bit about kind of your story, how you started this, and then you have some really exciting things launching that I think we're all going to be very excited about. So we'll touch on that too. So thanks for being here.
Yay. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah. I'm so excited to have this conversation.
It's going to be so fun. Okay. So first of all, you have a big anniversary coming up.
We do. It's like a milestone. 10 years.
Oh my gosh.
We're a decade.
That's amazing. You're so old.
I know. It feels like so much time and no time at all has passed. It's pretty wild how 10 years has stacked up like that.
So I remember sitting across from you. This was years ago, and you were full-time at a business, working a real corporate job.
Yep.
And this was kind of a side hustle. You had a partner and you had started this kind of dream that you had with the Sparkle Bar. And I remember the moment when you were like, this is getting bigger than I thought it was going to get. And now I have to choose. I have to make the choice to bet on myself and walk away from the security of this corporate job and dive all into my dream. Or this needs to shut down. Like you were kind of at a pass of like, what do I do here? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think I had a couple crossroads when it came to just the evolution of the Sparkle Bar and who we are as a brand. When I ultimately moved from the Sparkle Bar being my full-time hustle to my full-time job, it was really actually the pandemic. And that was a really hard season to navigate in general. I mean, I had a brick and mortar, I had employees, I was an also employee myself, I had young kids, my partner was considered a essential worker, and so, you know, all of the things, it was like the perfect storm. But it was very much a beautiful gift. I did decide along the way that I was going to set deadlines and goals for myself. And I think that's important as an entrepreneur. Like, you have to be very focused about what you're doing. I was not in the business to just be doing something aimlessly.
Right.
So I did decide that it was going to be 5 years because my 401k would vest, and, you know, it all made sense. In my head, I didn't realize it would be 2020 in the pandemic, and it would be like forcefully ripped from me.
Our best laid plans, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But it all worked out. Here we are, 5 years on the other side of that, which feels just so crazy.
Amazing. And it's been such a joy to watch your brand kind of evolve.
Thank you.
Into this almost like, it is like people know about it. Like I run across random people that I don't know that are talking about your brand, which is so fun and so cool.
I love hearing that.
And I think sometimes when you start, we have big visions, big dreams, right? And then in the reality, when it comes down to like, oh my gosh, someone other than my mom is talking about my business, like, this is a big deal, right?
If you could see my face right now, I'm cheesing so hard. My face hurts. I love hearing that. It makes my heart so happy.
It's so cool. And like, you have such a mission behind your brand. And I think one of the things that keeps you so relevant and and on top of mind for women especially is that you have this big mission. So can you talk about a little bit about kind of where that came from, what your mission is in your business, and where you want to take it?
Yes. We were created to overserve an underserved audience. So our whole mission behind the Sparkle Bar is to create space where people feel welcome and invited to partake in the experience of like getting ready and feeling like the most amazing version of yourself. We want people to feel beautiful because everyone deserves that. And what we believe at the Sparkle Bar is that what makes you special and what makes you unique is that you're created one of one, and we're here to celebrate that. So it is really exciting to hear that people feel that more than makeup experience, because it is so much more than just, painting a face. It is about creating a feeling for somebody. Absolutely. And that is such a gift that we get to give.
It's so good. And your staff is so incredible. Your team is incredible. When you walk in the door, you feel like the most special person on the planet.
Yay.
And
yes.
I think it's just such a gift. And I think that all comes from you of like setting that tone, setting that culture in your business, which is just so cool to watch and see it really trickle down. Because I think sometimes we have when we all start our business, we're like, yeah, I have a goal to make an impact in this world. But then to watch it actually start happening. Mm-hmm. And I've witnessed, obviously, my own transformation when I sit in the chair. Mm-hmm. I've also sat next to women that you could tell almost when they walk in, they're like, their shoulders are rolled forward. They're not so sure. They're like, I don't deserve this pampering. I'm not sure. They're a little uncomfortable. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then it's like this magic that happens when you sit in the chair and your team is making them feel like this princess that they are, right? And you literally can almost visually see it. It's like the shoulders roll back, the tits come up, right? And the head comes up and you're like...
They start fixing their hair.
Yeah, right? They're feeling themselves.
Yes.
I mean, you can see it happening in real time, which is so, so cool. So tell us your plans, because you have some big visions for your business, and you're kind of in the works on some of them. So are you allowed to share?
Yes, absolutely.
Amazing.
It is so cool to see people experience something that you had only dreamed about, and like to see it happening in real time for people to like actually have their own experience in the space that you dreamed. It's like, there's not a lot, like there's nothing like it. It's super special. So we are in a really exciting place. And it can feel like you are hurrying up but going nowhere fast sometimes. I mean, I feel like 10 years is such a long number, but it requires consistency. So I think also for anyone who's on the journey too, like you're right on time. It's crazy how fast this has the time has passed. Yeah. So as we look ahead to year 10 and beyond, I'm so excited about what we have on the horizon. We have launched Sparkle Academy, which is something that feels like a very natural progression. We are now educating other artists and business owners in this space on how to do what we do to help them, because what we know is that there is a Scottsdale in lots of different places. Yeah. It exists across the country. And this is kind of one of those like Main Street type businesses where, you can create your own business and be that person in your town who does the weddings and the proms and the things. And what we found is a lot of people love the experience that they have at the Sparkle Bar, but when they visit or go back home, because we're such a destination, they want it. And so this is how we will be able to deliver that experience through education. So you will be able to find Sparkle certified artists in your market soon. I'm very excited about that. We're focusing on Las Vegas, Miami, New York, Nashville, and of course, Arizona and Los Angeles to start. But I mean, global is the goal.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've done the work. You've built the business, led the team, carried the vision. But somewhere along the way, it started to feel heavy. You're not burned out. You're just misaligned. The Aligned Power Retreat is your invitation to step away from the noise and reconnect with your vision, your values, your voice. This isn't about hustle. It's about clarity. It's about remembering who you are when you're not constantly pouring out for everyone else. Join us in Paradise Valley, Arizona for 3 days of deep work, realignment, and transformative community with other women who get it. If you're ready to move from chaos to clarity, from pressure to purpose, from autopilot to aligned power, this is your moment. You can register at www.azsoulretreats.com/aligned-power-retreat. I'd love to see you there. Okay, so I love the word experience because I do think, I mean, I grew up in the like Clinique era, the Mac, like you show up, right? You're getting your makeup done and they're kind of throwing product at you and you know the goal is to sell something to you.
Right.
Like they want to make you look good, but kind of mostly so that you just buy the lipstick, right? And I think your experience is so different. Like I could tell that your team cares so deeply about making the woman, the man that's sitting in the chair feel valued, feel seen, feel heard.
Right.
And it's a different experience. And so I think that sparkle experience is so different. And so I love that you're getting to take that all over the place now because it is, I've seen women in bridal showers or bachelorette parties, right, come in as like this group and have this true experience and they walk out different. I mean, they are empowered. They're transformed into this like beauty on the outside that matches their inside.
Right.
And I think that's so unique about you guys is that you guys, I feel like can see, and I would love to hear how you kind of train this because I think it's so unique, is that your team can see the inside beauty and pull it out to the outside instead of trying to like throw makeup on someone. And I love that there's not you have some products that are amazing, but I've never ever been pushed a product in your space. And so I think it's all about even as the artists are talking to you during the process, it's like they want to know who you are, what you care about, what you love about. And they're creating this like masterpiece on your face that really feels like an extension of you.
Yep.
Like how many times have you gone and gotten makeup done and you're like, this is not me, right? You walk out and you're like, oh,
no words.
like every time. Right. And again, 80s baby, but like it was all the things. Do you remember we were talking about this the other day? Oh my gosh, what was the makeup that was in the tubes that was like all glitter?
Makeup in the tubes
at the mall. It was like a mall cart. Oh my gosh, how can I not remember?
Was it like
name?
Stackable?
Yeah, it was stackable.
And they twist it
yes,
on?
you twist off. Do you remember those?
Color.
Yes.
Color Science?
No. What was it? Oh my gosh.
I know. I'm part of that kiosk generation though.
Right? It's going to come to us during this interview. But I just feel like it was all about like making you look like something else and someone else. And I think the Sparkle Bar really truly gets to the point where they're bringing out that inner beauty and you're just the better version of yourself. You walk out just a more confident, but you feel like yourself. And they truly listen to like who you are and what you want.
Yep.
How do you train that?
I mean, it's really that deep. It sounds basic, but that is why we exist.
Yeah.
That is why we passed a law to ensure that as part of this experience, it was never about being pressured to buy something and always about the experience. It was always about helping people feel like the most amazing version of themselves. And, when it came to even our team and how we hire, but also who an artist is. Right. Just like a doctor, I feel like oftentimes people in this space get into the business because they love to make people pretty.
Right.
They love to see people feel good. They just love that. Not because they want to sell you something on the push list. So it creates this really beautiful environment where they can just thrive as artists because you are the art.
Right.
We see our clients who come in as like this canvas, this beautiful canvas. And sometimes it takes somebody outside of you to see something in you that you don't see in yourself, or maybe somebody hasn't seen in you before, for you to like feel and see seen in that way.
Yeah.
So it's a super special energy exchange because, as an artist, they see something in you and they bring that out, and it's special to watch.
Well, okay. And I don't know if this is a training. So if it is, kudos to you, or if this is just something that naturally happens because of the culture. But I remember I sat down last week to get my makeup done, and my artist asked me, I think a lot of times, or in this industry, I think a lot of times we're like, what do you want to hide? Right? So like the first thing you talk about when you sit down in a chair is what's wrong with you and how do we fix it, or how do we hide it? Where my experience at Sparkle Bar, he was like, what's your favorite asset on your face? What's your favorite part of you? And I had to like pause because I think as women, especially, I think we're so used to like putting ourselves down and like hiding our superpowers. And so I was like, I don't know. What's my favorite part of my face? And then I started listing the things I don't like. And he was like, no, that's not what I asked.
Right.
Like, what is your favorite part? Because he wanted to help highlight that.
Right.
And it was such a beautiful shift in this industry that is all about, you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, we need to fix you, right? We're always being told that we need something else to make us more beautiful. And it was this moment where I was sitting there in this chair and he was like, what's your favorite part of your face?
Yeah, I
was
love
like,
that.
I never thought about that before, and it put me off guard a little bit, but in the most beautiful way of like, gosh, this industry is all about focusing on the imperfections of us as women, especially. Like, I'm sure you've heard the like meme going around. It's like, if we could stop caring what other people think, like, can you imagine how many businesses would go out of business?
Oh,
because we're just
100%.
sold all day long on what
Your flaws,
and we're gonna fix you. And for $9.99, you can blah blah blah.
Right.
But it was this moment where I got to sit there and focus, like, oh, what do I like about my face? What is my favorite part? I don't know.
Right.
But it was just, you could tell the artist like cared so deeply about like, let's just pull that inner beauty out. Let's not try to mask anything. We're not covering anything up, which is just such a beautiful experience as a woman. And again, it's just so different than what we're surrounded by.
Right.
The
100%.
industry.
No, that's very intentional. Now, the way that they have those conversations is going to be unique to the artist, but like that's who we are. Like, it's so important for us to be very aware of our clients and letting them know, because I mean, that was been my experience. That's why we were created, to be quite honest. I grew up in a really beautiful, affluent place from Orange County, California. But I didn't see a ton of diversity. And so while I had access to like beautiful things, I didn't see myself in these spaces. And I saw a lot of beautiful people, but I didn't see me. And just because you're beautiful doesn't mean that I'm not. And so we should all be celebrated. And that is why, among our team, even, we have these conversations about how important it is to understand that what we do is so much more than makeup.
Right.
We help see people in a totally different light. Some of my favorite reviews or feedback from clients have been the ones that come in before something like a job interview, who go on to get the job of their dreams because of the confidence that is visible when you feel good, which oftentimes comes from looking good.
Right.
Like, I like what I see. I do everything better,
Totally.
So it's very special.
That's amazing. Congratulations. It's not easy to really, I mean, you hear about like breaking boundaries and like disrupting industries, but it's really hard to actually do that. And you guys have really done that and done it really well. So,
Thank you. Thank you. That's the goal. It's like Scottsdale and beyond.
Right? Yes. Yes. We're taking over the world.
Worldwide, yes.
Okay. So it hasn't always been the most perfect journey, right? There's been lots of ups and downs. Having a brick and mortar in Scottsdale, especially, I think is not the easiest, right? I remember sitting down with you for coffee, and you were going through kind of a partnership breakup. And that was also around the same time where you were working full time and you had to make a lot of decisions for your business. Can you talk a little bit about that and how that time kind of transformed you into the leader that you are now?
Yeah, I think that I think entrepreneurship has been such a special gift because it has allowed me to step into different places and challenges and really test myself and what I'm made of. I don't know that I would have had these opportunities otherwise. And some have certainly not been pretty and have been harder than others, for sure. And yeah, you've been somebody who's had a front seat really to so much of our story. I mean, I'm trying to think back. It's probably been probably the whole time, if I'm being honest, or if I can even memory serves correct. But, a transition of a business partnership is certainly difficult. And I think that just is consistent with staying in the game long enough. You are going to face so many different challenges and obstacles along the way. And each one of those builds your confidence and equips you in ways that you would not have otherwise been prepared for. Right. My business partnership transitioned actually in 2019, the end of 2019, which, who would have known that in 2020, here we would face a global pandemic, which
then you had to do solo.
Yes. Right. But also, had I not had that challenge when I did, and have to quickly pivot, I don't know that I would have been equipped to do it in the same way, 3 months or 4 months, however long that was later. Mm-hmm. And having gone through that transition once and having the confidence of, navigating an entire team through that, gave me the confidence to know that I can do that again.
Absolutely.
And it's been every challenge since then that has reminded me what I'm capable of, what I'm equipped with, who I am. So while I don't love all of them, I try to find the silver lining, the glass half full, like what am I supposed to take from this?
Right. What lesson
Right.
is here? And there's a lesson in everything
100%.
we do. And I think you touched on something that I think is really important is that consistency. Like owning your own business, there are so many things that are going to come up that you don't feel equipped for, you don't feel ready for. You might feel like this is the hardest thing you've ever done, but the fact that you just keep showing up and you keep literally you're just like every day you just have to kind of wake up and be like, I'm here. Like what are we facing today, right?
Yep.
This is all about that consistency and showing up for yourself and for your business over and over and over again.
Right.
And really, I think I get the question a lot of like what sets apart those who make it and those who don't. And I think it's consistency.
Literally, don't quit.
It's just don't quit. You just don't quit. And
I don't know how to quit.
Correct. Yes, that is too hard for us. And also, like, we couldn't go work for anyone else.
I mean, yeah, I just don't know at this point. Like I don't know where my end is. Like I'm going to keep going, which is, what is required sometimes. And it's not a bad thing. I love it. Right. I'm having fun.
Yes. Well, you have to have that. I mean, if you don't have that passion, this business ownership is not going to work. It's so hard. There's so many things that go into it. And without that, deep rooted passion and drive, most people just go, okay, this is too hard. We're gonna be done, right?
It has to be about more than just money.
Yeah.
It has to be about more than money. Otherwise, you don't get up when you don't know how to do the next thing.
Right.
Like you have to have some deep, invested, purpose-driven reason to be in it. Otherwise, it's too easy to quit.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you building a business that might look good on paper but still feels lonely, messy, or unclear behind the scenes? You don't have to figure it all out alone. The Foundress is a community for female founders who are ready to scale with clarity, connection, and purpose. Whether you're making your first 6 figures or scaling towards 7, we're the place where your ambition is seen, your ideas are sharpened, and your success is celebrated. Inside, you'll find strategy, deep support, and a powerful circle of women who get it. Because at Foundress, we don't just network, we grow together. If you're craving more than just another business group, if you're ready for mentorship, momentum, and women who speak your language, come join us. Your seat at the table is waiting. Head to foundress.co to learn more. You're at a season of scaling right now, and you're all of your time is taken up by really kind of the future of Sparkleboard. What does that look like? Where is it going? So can you share with us kind of one of the biggest struggles that you've had as a business owner and how that's gotten you to where you are now?
One of the biggest struggles, I mean, gosh, so many. Well, I think that sometimes, especially for me, when you are blazing trails and you're like blazing the trail, you're oftentimes the first one. Yep. And sometimes you don't know who to turn to. It's like, who has done what I'm endeavoring to do that I can ask, who can help me and get to this next level? And I'm not afraid of asking for help. I'm fully aware that, oftentimes it's not a what, it's a who can help you in situations. But that has been one of the bigger challenges, which is why it's super important, like critical that people be in community, find themselves in rooms like the Foundress where they can be among other people and their peers who can be that access point, and be there for the good, the bad, and all of it, because that has been what has helped me navigate some of these challenging situations.
Yeah, and I love that you said, like, sometimes it's not even the fact that they've been where you want to be, because when you are disrupting an industry, oftentimes you are creating a new path that doesn't exist. And I remember when we were building Junk in the Trunk Vintage Market, that what we wanted to do didn't exist. And so it was like trying to tell people, like, it's like this, but kind of like this, and kind of a mix of this, it like didn't make sense for people. Right. And it kept,
you don't get it.
It was frustrating because you kept like running up against, I'm like, I know if you could really get this, you would love it. But until they see it, sometimes you don't get it. And so it's almost like telling the story over and over and over and over again. But sometimes we need to be in that community where someone else is going, I see your vision. Right, because you might not have that person to look up to or that business to look up to that's done what you want to do because you're doing it differently. But you need those people to sit next to you and go, I see it. I'm with you.
Or I believe in you.
I believe in you. Yes. Like sometimes that's all you need. It's like someone else when you get up and you're like, okay, today is the day I quit, right? Because we have those days that someone can just lean in and go, no, you're not quitting.
Right.
I'm not allowing you to quit because they catch your vision. They see it and they see where you could be
right.
and where you will be. And almost like borrowing that belief of someone else for that minute where you're like, I just want to crawl in bed and never wake up, right? But it's like borrowing someone else's belief because they see that vision of yours.
I mean, and it doesn't even have to be like the same industry.
Right.
If you have employees and you can relate on the payroll factor, just being able to look at somebody who can understand the stomach pain that might come along with like, are we going to make it?
Right.
And tell you that, yes, we are, you're going to be fine. Like, and they're proof for you too, you know?
Right. And rewriting those
important.
thoughts to you too. I remember sitting there, my friend owns a med spa and I was in there getting a service done and she was like, oh, I ran payroll today. And she was like in the first year of her business. And she was like, and I have 83 cents left over. And I was like, congratulations. Like she was feeling so down on herself. 100%. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like you're under a year old and you're profitable? Like, that's amazing. Right. Even if it's 83 cents, like sometimes we need that reframe too, right?
Right.
And those like small wins to like keep us
Live
going.
to see another day.
Totally.
2 more weeks.
83 cents, we got there, right? We're going to go buy a slushie or something.
Right.
Just
we're going to save all this.
Right. Seriously. We're going to save every penny. No, that's okay. So we've talked about struggles. Now I want to talk about something that you're really excited about. What's coming up in your business that like lights you on fire right now?
So I'm excited about some collaborations and partnerships that we have on the horizon with some huge global brands that for me have been goals from the beginning. I mean, I've been working on, through this education process, I've had to go back through the last 10 years and, look at all the things that we've accomplished. And I'm not one to be like boastful or sharing those things, but in looking back at some of the companies we've partnered alongside and worked with and opportunities we've had, it is really exciting to see where we're headed. I will say that one includes a collaboration with a major hotel chain,
awesome.
Which I am just like over the moon excited about. It's truly like something special to like see the thing that I have this little, it's not my quote, I don't remember who gave it to me, but it's like, speak what you seek until you see what you said. And I feel like so excited to see the things that I was casting a vision out for coming to fruition, prayers answered. So thank you, Jesus, because I feel incredibly blessed to see a lot of these prayers being answered right now.
That's amazing. Okay, so for those listening that are like, oh my gosh, that's my dream to have a big partnership with a big brand like that. Can you give us one or two things that really led to that? Something that you did, something that the way you showed up, or relationships maybe that you had that helped you get that connection?
I think that don't be afraid to just start reaching out to people. I mean, there is something so powerful about just sending a DM or a LinkedIn request or an email cold. You may not always reach somebody, but one, you're going to cut your teeth and get some practice and, start to feel fine about hearing no or not hearing a response at all. But I think that our biggest success or some things that have helped us align ourselves with strategic partners has been, looking at people who have a very similar audience, recognizing the value that we can bring to an event or to their community or whatever the case may be, and really speaking on how we can serve. And I think when it's come from that, angle or, when we are talking that language, that it's very well received. Because that's what we get to do on a day-to-day basis. We get to add to the ambiance of people's lives and experiences, whether that's in studio, on location, virtually. So I try to, make sure that we're able to tell that story, and it's been very fruitful.
So good. And I know you talk about sales a lot. You love sales, and you're really good at it. Oftentimes, I think entrepreneurs start their business, and they did it because they had a passion for something that was not sales, right? And we can tell ourselves, I'm not good at sales. I cannot do sales. And we try to hire it out, and then it fails, and then we waste money and we waste time. So what is one, maybe, I loved your DM like don't be afraid to kind of reach out. But what's one tip you could tell of entrepreneur who's maybe feeling like, I got into this business for something completely different. I do not want to be a salesperson. How do we naturally tell people? Because I think it's so important. If no one knows about our offer, we can't help the people that we set out to help.
Exactly.
And so how do we maybe reframe that for us on making sales maybe feel a little bit easier, a little less scary?
Yeah, sales is sales. I understand that there is a negative connotation that comes along with the word sales. However, sales is really just sharing your favorite things with people.
Right.
So when I think about like selling, what I'm really doing is just telling people that I care about that I know of something that they might like too.
Right.
Good, bad, and different. You can do with that information what you'd like, but if I don't share it with you, I feel like I'm doing you a disservice.
Yeah.
And I think that it's super important that all of us as business owners and entrepreneurs understand that your business requires that you be willing to go and tell everyone about it.
Yeah.
Unafraid about, what you're doing, your purpose, what you came to do, and to be excited about it. People will gravitate towards that energy alone. And, you'll start to build momentum by continuing to be consistent, but just tell everyone.
Yeah.
You must.
I love it. And you have always been such a great example of like wearing your brand and being so proud of it, like unashamed completely. Like you always have something on that says Sparkle Bar somewhere, right? Talk about that. And have you had experience or luck, I guess, really having that be a conversation starter, telling people about your business?
I think it's so smart to have little cute things that represent your brand. If you ever come around me, I'm going to hand you either matches or a mirror or a fan, something that has our brand on it, because I want you to take a piece of us with you and for that to be a memorable exchange. And how easy is it for me just to like leave a little gift? Yeah. We use promotional matches, like matchbooks for our business cards because it's a conversation starter. Yeah. And it's something that people are like, oh, I'd love to receive it. So if you're also someone that maybe is a little shy, looking at unique items that you could use as your card might be an easier way for you to just start having conversations with people. Literally, it always opens the door to a very organic conversation. I always collect matches, either love them or they hit them. Right. So I think it's a really easy way for you to think outside the box creatively.
I love that so much. And when people hand me a business card, I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it. You're like, I know that I'm going to put it in my purse and then I'm going to throw it away when I get home because my purse is overflowing. Right. So I love the idea of kind of being unique, being creative, thinking outside the box, and using them as conversation starters. Like this is your doorway to that sale. Of even just sharing, like, this is what I do. Right. And I think you're going to love it.
Yes. Yes. And even if they maybe aren't your target audience or your ideal consumer, don't discount anybody. Right. Talk to everybody because they know somebody who could be your target demographic or end user. So, talk to everybody.
This is, I could talk about this for hours. Your network is your net worth. And
absolutely.
If we can treat the people who may be, quote unquote, not our ideal target client, if we're treating them with respect and sharing with them what we have, like they know someone who wants to use your 100%. Service, your product, whatever. And the fact that you're taking the time to talk to them, value them, and share your heart with them, like it's going to speak volumes.
Yes.
And I think we often, sometimes in our limited amount of time as entrepreneurs or money for marketing or whatever, we try to just target the people that we think are going to be like the number one client. And oftentimes we miss so many opportunities to really share what we do. And you never know where those are going to lead.
Oh, 100%.
Some of my best collaborations, partnerships, sponsors have come from, I'm talking to the lady who's answering the phones, who makes zero decisions. But do you know how much power she has? Right. Because she has so much trust from her employer. And she's my first point of contact. Right. And so if I treat her like shit or don't think she's worth my quote unquote time to share my business with, there's no way I'm getting up the ladder, right? 100%. To the owner.
Yes.
And so sharing just being human. And I think so often we think of sales as such this big, heavy thing that no one wants to do. But really it is just like treating every single person as an opportunity to share your heart, share what you do, because we all have a mission. We have a dream to help others. And that's why we started our business. And if we don't share those things along the way, we're missing out on that opportunity.
Definitely. For us, it all comes from the heart. And I think that's why it's been very organic and natural. It's not a farce. Like, we very much believe in this. And, you know, we look at every single interaction as a, I mean, this is a possible referrer. Somebody could refer people to us. So the highest compliment we could receive is a referral.
Yeah. Some of my, I mean, I own a community for female founders. Like, you would think I wouldn't talk to any men about my business because they're not my ideal client. But some of my best clients that I have inside Foundress came from, I met their husband or I met their boss or I met their, you know.
Or like, my wife needs to be in this.
Correct.
Or my friend or my girlfriend, whatever. Yeah.
And because we had time and we shared this moment of like conversation, like these women that would never ever walk in my life otherwise came from a conversation that I had with someone who wasn't my ideal client. And there's so much going around about networking right now that it makes me like just want to cry and cringe and scream. But a lot of the advice out there is like, you only put yourself in rooms where your ideal client is. And I'm like, gosh, no. What you do is you treat everyone like an opportunity of like, let's have a real conversation. And you never know who those people know. And I think just having that heart of, like you said, if I know that I can help you and I know I can serve you, and if I'm not talking about it, then you're at the disservice, right?
Right. I had something I could have helped you. You were looking for a gift for your wife.
Right.
You know, and I could have said something. This would have been perfect. I know they love this.
Right.
And I think that's what it really comes down to. When you believe in what you're offering, like to that point where you're like willing to do that, then it doesn't feel like selling.
Right.
Like, I know that when clients come in, you're going to walk out and love it.
Yeah, you're going to feel amazing.
I don't say I guarantee or promise, but I have a good feeling.
Right.
And it's easy for me to go and tell people about that. Yeah. And, you know, what I ask other people to do is go tell all their friends about, you know, who we are and what we're doing. Yeah. And that's another way that you can start to ask for those referrals so that you don't have to do it yourself every time. Absolutely. People don't know what you need if you don't ask them.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Amen. Amen. I love it. Okay. So you have something launching soon. Can we talk about it?
We have a couple things launching soon. Okay. Okay. So, I mean, this is a long time coming. I'm very excited about it, but we are going to be launching a product, a lip oil coming soon. I'm very excited about it. Yes. We have done like small drops of things. And so it'll be in limited quantity, but I'm very excited. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited to make it available and for people to experience what we've been working on for a very long time.
I love it. So exciting.
Yes.
And then the second thing, are you able to talk about the second thing?
Well, now my brain is, I feel like we talked a little bit about Sparkle Academy.
Yes.
And
then do you have the cases?
Oh, okay. So let me tell you a little bit about, Case Beauty is a special program that we are like launching in collaboration to help women impacted by the justice system. And this is a really exciting project. It really is very exciting because it also impacts workforce development and helping people get back on their feet after having, you know, been incarcerated. And I don't have personal experience with the justice system, but from what I've learned through some of the work I've had an opportunity to do and learn about is that while, you know, people have done their time and have been educated, oftentimes second chance employment isn't a real thing and an option. So what do people do? Add to that, we're living in a very gig economy, heavy type of world. So I feel like makeup artistry is a trade similar to like being a mechanic or someone who specializes in HVAC, that you can, through your time and talent, go and like freelance, do your own thing, build your own business and equip yourself in a lot of different ways. So we are super excited about that partnership and how we will also like serve on a totally different level.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
I had a really good friend who worked in the sex trafficking realm, and they did a ton of studies backed by millions of dollars of support on kind of Super Bowl and golf tournaments and big events where a lot of that happens behind the scenes. And she said, what we're seeing is that these women are getting sex trafficked, which then they're in prostitution, they get arrested, they have a criminal record, and then they can't get a job. Right. And it's a cycle where they're kind of screwed for life once that happens. Right. And there's no grace on the other side of like, wait, let's look at why this happened, right? And then these women that are incredible and maybe just had unfortunate events happen in their life that are then stuck and can't provide for their families.
Right.
And so this is such a beautiful opportunity to give people like that second chance and to be creative.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So
right. Because you
beautiful.
can thrive in a lot of different ways. And so I'm looking forward to reshaping the way that makeup artists are viewed and also creating a lot of opportunity at the same time.
Amazing. All while disrupting industries and making people beautiful. I love it.
It's been fun.
Amazing. Yes. Alex, how can we find you?
So you can find me personally is at Alex Bradberry, Bradberry, or the Sparkle Bar, where you can see everything that we have going on, the events that we're at, what we're doing, behind the scenes, all the fun, at the Sparkle Bar on all platforms. So that's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the things.
Awesome. And I will put in the show notes the link to book too, if you want to sparkle yourself.
Please, we'll put your special link, which actually, can I say this out loud?
Yeah,
So,
I think so.
Your link, you will get $20 off. So anyone who books through your link will get a discount on their service, which is not typically available. So yeah.
Amazing. We're getting discounts.
Yes.
I mean, this is like, how fun. You get to sparkle and save money.
Right?
Best day ever.
Perks of listening.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Alex, so much
you.
for spending time with me today. I loved this conversation and I can't wait to go sparkle again.
Yay, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. If this spoke to you, share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a conversation. You've got this. Stay clear, stay grounded, and stay true to what you're building. Until next time, tits up.